Now let's do a little exercise that'll encompass everything we've learned up till now with insert mesh brushes and controlling curves and all that stuff. So I'm going to append a z-sphere. I'm going to select that z-sphere. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to turn on transparency mode so I can go inside of here a little bit. I'm going to hit W, and with that z-sphere selected, move that down into place. Just kind of putting that right in the middle of my shoe here. We're going to hit E, scale this down, and we're going to hit W and just move that into place here. So essentially this is going to be the start of our shoelace here, and if you want to make it smaller, again just hit E, which is going to go to scale, and then hit Q to go into draw mode, and then you can see start drawing, hold down shift, it'll snap it to the size of your z-sphere. If you just want to select one z-sphere, make your draw size, tap S, make it very small, and then you can just move it to this side, go to the other side, hold down Q, tap Q, hold down shift, W, move it to this side. So now we have the start of our shoelace here going both directions here. So we can also hit Q in here and here and just draw and then hit W if we want to fine tune the shape of our shoelaces here. But these are going to go underneath first. So again, we're going to hit W and move these into place. And now I can turn transparency mode off. You can hit Q, hold down shift, it'll snap it. And we can say we can go up, hold down, tap Q, hold down shift, snap it, hit W, and then we're going to go to this side. Again, if you want to finesse this loop here, you can hit Q, tap a couple times, and then you can add more edge loops or more z-spheres, I should say, into this. We're going to hit W and again just move these into place. Q, hold down shift, move this up. So you can just use z-spheres to go through here, and you can put these into place and then go through here. So at this point, you guys know that you can start doing curves helper if you want to. You can use this as a z-sphere chain. The only caveat to that would be if you're going to use curves helper, you can't do what I did at the beginning and put one here. You'd have to start on like one end up here and go all the way down and then all the way back up in one continuous loop from a z-sphere start chain and z-sphere end chain. You can't branch from the end to two different directions. So this is kind of a deal breaker if you want to use curves helper now. But if you did want to use curves helper, just realize that that's what you need to do. So we've gone through one side, now we can just go to the other side, and then I'm going to go Q, start drawing, and then hold down shift, and then move it over to this side here. And now on this side, we have to decide, when I get this into place, I just want to go over or under. So I'm going to hit Q, hit W a couple times, and we'll say this one's going to go over. And you can tie z-spheres into knots. You have total control over here. So we're going to go up, and then hold down shift, and then go all the way over here. And now we can decide, do we want this one to go underneath or over? So you can decide, this one goes over, and then this one goes under, and then this one over here can go over. And we'll just push this one over here, and we'll tuck it in here, and we'll hit Q here, and then we'll say this one's going to go over, and we can even grab this one and pull it down underneath. Now, once we have this in place, we can hit A. It's going to give us our adaptive skin, but by default, the adaptive skin is going to be a Dynamesh. We're going to go down here to Dynamesh, and we're going to say, adaptive skin, and we're going to say Dynamesh resolution down to 0, density down to 1, and now when we hit A, you're going to see this is the result we're going to get. A lot easier to work with. So we're going to say, you know what, make an adaptive skin. We'll keep our z-sphere in here in case we need it, but I'll go to append, skin z-sphere. That's our skin z-sphere adaptive skin it made. Select that, turn off your z-sphere, so now we just have geometry here, and now we can start making this into shoelaces if we want to. So one thing we can do, I'm going to hit Control W to make it all one polygroup. I'm going to go down here to deformation, and we're going to say polish by features, close circle. And as you're doing that, it's going to start smoothing these out. If you want to smooth them a lot, you can turn on polish by features, open circle, and that'll really smooth them out quite a bit. And of course, you can go down here at that point, and you can go down here to inflate, and you can inflate them back up, or you can deflate them if you want to, just to kind of dial in exactly how you want them to look. Now at this point, you can start refining these laces. So you can go into your move brush here. So we'll take our brush, we'll dock it over here. We're going to go into auto masking, and you can turn on topological. You can change the range if you want to down to say like 1.5, or you can hit BM, move topological BMT if you want to just select that brush. So we can go through here and we can move, and the reason I put on move topological is so I can move this lace independently from this lace. If we have this off, it's going to move everything in that radius. So let's turn that on, and now we can go through and fine tune our laces. If you wanted a specific type of shoelace, which you can do, or just a hose or anything like this, you can use the control curves method. So we can isolate out of here. We can hold down Control Shift. Let's grab a select lasso. I'm going to take this cap off, and I'll hold down Control Shift and hold down Alt. Take this cap off here. Geometry, modify topology, delete hidden. And then now I can hit my BZM, Z modeler brush, hover over a edge here, we're going to go to polygroup polyloop, tap, and then you can just, as you tap Alt, it'll just change polygroups here, and we'll do another one here. And so that's going to go through and create a polyloop string all the way through and around our object. So now we can hold Control Shift, isolate that, and it looks like it stopped here. Nope, let's turn on, just to make sure, I'm going to go all the way down here, Display Properties, and we're going to turn on Double. And then hold down Control Shift, isolate this one here. There we go. It does go all the way through. It just kind of flips halfway through. That's fine. So I'm going to go through here, again, Geometry, Modify Topology, Delete Hidden, and now we can go up here to Stroke, Curve Functions, turn off everything but Border, Frame the Mesh, and that's going to frame, I'm sorry, not the border. Turn off everything but polygroups here. We'll go ahead and delete those curves. And then we're going to frame our polygroup. It's going to go all the way down through the middle. So now at this point, we can now do BI, brush insert, any of these curves to work. We'll do IMM curve. We'll go ahead and select maybe a bracelet link. And we'll just tap on here. And now we can have bracelet shoelaces or whatever, you know, make a rope. You can go to the IMM repository and make a rope or whatever. And now you have that shape assigned to your shoelaces. Now, another alternative to this is the bridging method. So we can go ahead and delete this. And so now what we're going to do is, let's go out of edit mode. Let's hit Control N. I'm going to grab a cylinder here, drag it onto my canvas, and we're going to go down here to initialize. We'll make this fairly simple. We'll say 12 and then hit Tab and then 4. So we have a very simple cylinder here. We'll go ahead and say make Polymesh 3D. So now this cylinder here, we're going to hold down Control and we're going to drag out a copy of this and we're going to bend it at an angle to this one, like this. So now what we're going to do is you can go to your ZModeler brush, BZM, hover over face. You can do delete flat island. You can delete this one. You can delete this one. And now we can hover over an edge and we can say bridge 2 holes. So here to here. And we can just kind of even that transition out. Now over here, let's go ahead and say delete flat island here and delete flat island here. We'll go ahead and rotate this so it's looking kind of like this. And then we'll hold down, actually, let's turn on our floor here and make sure that, so we're Z forward here. I'm going to go ahead and rotate this way. And we're going to put this on one side of our floor plane here. And now I'm going to do a Geometry Modify Topology mirror and weld across the x-axis. So it's going to put me both on both sides here. We'll hit Control W, make it all one polygroup. We're going to hit B, create insert mesh new. We go back to our boot here. And now, if we turn on polyframe, turn off polyframe there, we can turn off the floor. We can insert these things onto our boot. Now, no matter where we place these things, we can hold down Control and just drag off copies, and you can just rotate them down and just keep dragging off copies here, and you know, position them nicely so that they make sense. And I'm going to go ahead and grab a little piece of this boot, do Control Shift A for visibility, select all, and I'm going to go to Subtool, Split, and then we're going to go ahead and say Split Hidden. So now these are moved. So now I can go in here, even with my move brush with auto masking turned to topological. If I make it a draw size of 1, I can very quickly go through here and just move these individual pieces around. So I can quickly kind of settle these things in. And if you want to, you can also go into your polygroup menu and you can say auto groups. And now you can hit W, you can control tap any one of these, and you can go through here and very quickly position and rotate these things. So the whole point of this is so you can go through here, and now you can use these as bridging between them. So you can hover over one edge, and you can say bridge 2 holes. You can bridge this one to this one, and you can bridge this one to this one, and you can bridge this one to this one. Now, obviously, I should probably shrink these down a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my deformation. We're going to go down here and inflate, and we're going to deflate these just a bit. And even when we created these, we probably should have bent these a little bit more. And you could still do that if you wanted to. You can hold down Control. Let's hold down Control, and you can go to Mask Lasso, and you can position these a little bit better here. So again, and you can rotate these around. So now you just want to make your insert mesh brushes so that they're a little more bent. So now when we bridge these things, we can say bridge 2 holes here to here. And if you want more resolution, you can just pull up. This one's going to change the angle, which you don't want to do, but you can pull up and you can add more resolution. So when you go through here and you start, bridging these things together, here to here, and here to here, here to here, and then this one to this one. We can even these out. It's not a huge deal. All we have to do is, again, go over here to our Polish by Features. We'll hit Control W, make them all one feature, and then we'll just do a closed circle, and we can just kind of even this geometry out. So now we can go back in with our move brush, our topological. We can move this one above, and we can go, okay, we want to go over, under, over, and this one we want to go under, over, under if we want to, and this just might be an easier way for you to kind of position laces, is just bridging them with an IMM brush. And of course, if you want to, you can go back into your inflate and you can deflate these things down. You can Z-remesh them if you want to, so you have a lot of leeway to do that as well.